You know, Donald Trump is the only person that I ever remember coming along in the political arena and saying something like a president has to have full immunity in order to be able to do his job. That baffled me the first time that I ever heard that said out loud because I was like, that's what the mob says. The mob is who looks for immunity, not the president. If a president is effective and can do his job, then he should be able to do it within the confine of the law and within the confines of the government. And he should know how to work that system to everyone's advantage instead of saying, I have to have full immunity so I can go outside the system that's put in place and I can break every rule in the book in order to do my job. If you have to break every rule in order to do your job, then you're not good at doing your job. Just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, and you say to yourself, well, if we have a president that has full immunity, then we have a king. Well, now Trump is saying he wants to give full immunity to the police as well. And no, I'm not making this up. Take a look.
I'm going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job.
So, folks, let's really stop and think about this one for just a minute, because I know there's a lot of people out there who likes to call guys like me hyperbolic. They like to say that we're just trying to get people all worked up. But let's really stop and think about this. The Supreme Court has gave presidents immunity for official acts. We all know if Donald Trump were to be reelected, anything he does, no matter how far outside the rule of law he goes, he's going to say that's an official act. He's going to say he should have immunity because I was just trying to do my job. He's always going to use that for an excuse. So if a president has immunity and can run rampant over the rule of law, and he has a police force who is immune and can do anything they want to, do you realize what an authoritarian nightmare we would be living in? Do you understand that whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Trump supporter or not, you should not be in favor of this? This is not the world that you should want to live in. Because we just got done watching Sonia Massey be murdered. We just got done watching that. I'm not going to show the clips because of how truly disturbing that it was. But anyone can look at that and realize that that cop was at fault. Anyone can look at that and see the injustice in it. And you're telling me that guy should have immunity? You're okay with handing immunity over to just anyone? No one should have it. But stop and think about it for a minute before you get all excited about this. Think back to all the people who we saw unjustly lose their lives at the hands of the police. Think back to George Floyd with a knee in his neck, begging to breathe. And don't come at me with he was a thug, he was a criminal, or none of that garbage. None of that mattered. None of those talking points that MAGA tried to come up with on that one, none of it mattered. It did not matter. The police is supposed to be there to bring a person to justice. They're not there to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. That's not how the system works. And when someone says, I have to have full immunity in order to be able to do my job, and so I'm going to give these people here full immunity so they can do their job, that is an absolute authoritarian nightmare, and that's not me being hyperbolic. Think about it, folks. Right now, we have a Democratic president, Joe Biden, who is against this. I mean, he has immunity, and yet he's saying, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. So to everyone out there who likes to say that we're the ones trying to weaponize the government against people we disagree with, Joe Biden has not done that. The people who have went to jail and the people who have been held accountable broke the law. They went outside of the system, and we all saw them do it. The evidence was there. And what Donald Trump is saying is it doesn't matter if the evidence is there. These people needed to break the law in order to be able to do their job. Do you realize how insane this truly is? I can't believe that I'm actually sitting here in 2024 having this conversation. I grew up in a country where no one, or where I was told anyway, that no one was above the law. That's what we were always told. And we sit and watch presidents put their hand on the Holy Bible, raise their right hand, and swear to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. If a president has full immunity, what is the purpose of that act? Why should any president take the oath again? Why? What will be the point of it? If they're immune, they don't have to preserve, protect, and defend it. They can say they were doing their job and going about their day. And do you really think we're ever going to have elections again? I know people's going to say, oh, you're being hyperbolic here. You're getting all bent out of shape. But we're talking about a guy who is trying to get rid of all the laws and all the laws within the system to hold him accountable. He's trying to get rid of every bit of that. And he's trying to get rid of it now for the police force too. We have sat and watched innocent people lose their lives, and he wants people to be immune. And before everybody starts getting excited about it, you got to stop and say to yourself, what if you end up on the wrong side of the law and that police officer is immune? What are you going to do then? What if it's your brother the next time? What if it's your sister? What if it's your child? What if it's your son or daughter? What if it's your mom or dad? What if it's you? I'm sick and tired of having to say this, but it sucks that it has to happen to them before they give a damn. But once you allow people to get in there and give themselves full immunity, you're not going to be able to put the toothpaste back in the tube. Once they got this in place, you're not going to be able to put the toothpaste back in the tube. That's why that this election is so important. It's not just our democracy, it's our freedom. It's our basic fundamental rights in this country that is right on the line in front of us, and we have people cheering it on. We have people excited for this. We have people who can't wait to see these things implemented, not realizing just how hard it could come back to bite them in the ass themselves. Now, let me ask you this. Right now, you guys, this is to the Trump supporters who are still listening at this point in the video. You guys support Donald Trump right now, right? You love him. You love everything about him. You don't care if he's got immunity. You don't care if the police have immunity because they're on your side, right? Well, what's going to happen one day if Donald Trump pisses you off and you decide to step outside and say, I'm against that? You think you're going to be able to protest against him? You think he's going to be okay with you protesting? You think he's going to be okay with you speaking out? Well, what's going to happen when the police knocks on your door? You think they're going to give you a pass suddenly? They don't have to anymore. So everybody really should wake up and pay attention to what's going on around them and understand that people like me is not trying to be hyperbolic, folks. All I ever wanted to do in this world was just play my guitar and be left the hell alone. But I came to a point in my life, I've said this so many times, and I'm going to keep saying it. I came to a point in my life where I said, damn, the issues at hand is way more important than some crowd of drunk people hearing me sing a Hank Jr. cover again. The world don't need to hear that anymore. What they need to hear is some common sense. What they need to hear is somebody saying, hey, before you get all excited about this and get all worked up, there could come the day that you decide you don't want to be in that little cult anymore. And when you decide to, you ain't going to be able to leave. And that's the part that people like us is trying to drill home. I know that a lot of people will hear it and just go, he's all worked up over nothing. Still love you, Brando. You're still my buddy. We still love you. We just think that this guy should rule over you, and we think he should be able to do anything he wants to you and get full immunity, but we love you. No, you don't. Quit saying that to me. Stop. I don't want to hear it. I want people to stand up and be on the side of truth. I want people to be on the side of justice. And when someone breaks the law, I don't care how high on the totem pole they are. I want to see them held accountable. I do not want them to be immune. And if your president, if your leaders has to be able to break all the rules just to do their job, then they are not fit to do that job. And yes, folks, this is the hill I'm willing to die on.